Hey everybody, welcome back to another Full on Fire tutorial. Today we're going to be going over folding lines at length. We're going to be doing out to in folding lines as well as in to out, other variations involving body bumps with the handle. Well, we've got the ball and cradle, extra spins in the elbow, all the ins and outs. Let's dive right into it. The way that I teach folding lines is with sendbacks as a prerequisite. We already have a tutorial out on that. You can check the page for. Just make sure you can do your sendbacks back to the original side and to the far side. The first kind of folding line we're going to take a look at is an out to in fold. We call this out to in because it starts off with our wrists on the outside and working towards the center line of our body. The second type of fold is an in to out fold, meaning that it starts at the center line of our body or on the non-native side and works back to the native side. The first one we're going to go over is an in to out folding line. The easiest way to learn this is through a sendback, like I said earlier. We're going to take the handle when we catch it and turn our shoulders with our feet planted 180 degrees, releasing on the far side. Eventually, as you get more comfortable with this turning practice, you can eventually let go of the handle and not catch it and wave your hand past as you do the folding line. A really helpful tip for this is to lean back. When you lean back, you can use your chest as a shelf. You can see me doing that here with the sendback technique and then again as I wave past it without grabbing the handle. Make sure to focus as well on keeping the poi in a flat line. As you move across through the folding line, you'll see it stays at about the same level throughout. As you get more comfortable, you don't even have to come close to grabbing the tether. You can kind of just let your hand fall to finish the folding line. Before we go over the exits for that folding line, we're going to go over the second type of folding line, which is an out to in folding line. We learn this by doing the same thing, a send back on the native side and then turning our shoulders 180 degrees to throw it out to the non-native side. Again, we're turning our shoulders with our feet planted. Again, we're going to bypass grabbing the handle and just let it roll across by waving our hand with the poi. It's important to note that we have an opportunity for cradle and rollback on that same wrist at the end of the folding line. Okay, now we're going to go back to the first folding line, which is in to out, and we're going to take a look at how to get out of it. The first exit we're going to look at is a gunslinger exit, flipping over the wrist. What we're going to do to practice is take the poi head and let the handle drape over our wrist until we get comfortable exiting out into forward gunslinger. Another exit we'll look at is an underside native arm bounce. Practice that bounce a couple times and you'll notice you're back in the right direction for an out to in folding line. These folding lines can run back and forth this underarm bounce. Switching back to out to in folding lines, the first exit we're going to look at is a handle bounce on the elbow on the underside. This will allow for a rollback to catch the handle and you can toss the end back up in the same direction. There are a bunch of different bounces that you can do with this folding line, including hitting the non-native arm, the non-native leg, and the native leg. As well as, if you're in the folding line, you can use your non-native arm to invert the tether and send it back that way for that same roll. Also, when we're in the position to bounce under our native leg, we can actually release the ball and let it roll off and catch the tether underneath that native leg. You can combine these exits and end up back in a position where you can do a rollback as well. Feel free to mess around and try different bounces with this exit. Okay everybody, that concludes my tutorial on folding lines. Just a couple tips to remember: lean back and make sure you're turning your shoulders the full 180 degrees. Get inventive with the exits, see if you can come up with your own, and if you do, post them, tag me on Instagram at IntricateStrings. My name's Conor, guys. Thank you for watching this Full on Fire tutorial. I'll catch you next time.